So how has the journey been, Doc? All these preparation time. I mean, I think you must have been feeling the usual pressure as everybody else would be going through. So how did
Yes,
you
yes,
handle
sir.
that?
So for me, it's been a pretty long journey, I would say. The first exam I appeared for was the NEET PG 2020. That was my internship year. That went pretty okay for me because I did not prepare also my internship year. I guess you already know, sir, in our college, there's a tradition of like really not preparing your internship year. We go all out and enjoy our internship year and we prepare from the next year. And I guess it's a tradition with our college, but some people do crack it in the internship year. I was not one of them. So I started my preparation after my internship ended in March, and I was pretty serious about it. And my NEET PG 2020 rank was 14,000. I was not too upset about it and not too happy about it. I did not really want to take up a branch, and I thought I would drop a year and prepare seriously this time. uh, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Nobody anticipated the COVID situation, and the COVID situation really took us by storm. And I know a lot of my friends have been working in the hospital as well. It's been very hard on them. I thought I would drop a year, and I just did not want to focus anywhere else. So I decided I just want to sit home and like prepare properly for a year before I appeared for the exam. And my target initially was NEET PG 2021. So I was preparing for that very seriously, and I sat for the May aims as well, the June aims this time, and my rank was 2900. It was, I think, it was not up to my expectations because by that time I had done most of the subjects, I think, except a few of them, and I thought I could have done better in that exam. And after that, sir, there were lots of ups and downs, definitely. More downs than ups, I would say. And this rank came as like a real blessing. I'm very, very, very grateful for this rank.
Great, great, very nice. Dr. Sparsh, can you take over, please?
Yeah, sure, sir. Hi, Dr. Arita
Good,
Chattopadhyay.
good
Super
evening, sir.
congratulations
Good
to
evening.
you for that wonderful rank.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It means a lot, sir, coming from somebody of your stage. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much. Doc, actually, every topper would face those similar set of questions, maybe. But then, is there
Yes,
any
sir.
specific strategy that you can share with the people who are watching this video so that, I mean, they can also get some guidance from the way you prepared for the exam?
Definitely, sir. I would say uh, the focus right now is definitely on an integrated approach or a very conceptual approach to learning, which I think is very necessary, and I like it a lot. At the same time, there is a requisite amount of timing you have to do before every exam, and that goes without saying. And I think segregating those two parts is probably the best approach to the thing. I tried my best to do that, but I didn't really succeed too much at it. But I tried my best to segregate those two parts. And conceptual understanding always has to come first. And I think if your base is strong, then it's a lot easier to add on the new information onto that pre-existing base. So I think making your base strong should be the focus for every student now, and it always has been the focus. Let's say, and more so now, I would say. So making a good conceptual, strong base, and then adding more information on it in your internship year or whenever you start to prepare seriously for this exam. And I would like to add that the base, when the time you start to prepare your base, is not in the internship year or in the final year, or it starts right when you enter your first year. And you should try your best to clear all your concepts right as you go along the years, and just be a good MBBS student, I would say. That I think helped me a lot, to have a clear understanding of the subject before I jumped in and like did this intensive preparation. I think that helped me a lot.
I think you kind of dispelled a very important misconception that a lot of people are likely to have when they talk about the new pattern of the examination or when they talk about the next pattern, wherein people are, kind of advocating that only the final year subjects are going to be the most useful ones. I mean, to my horror and surprise, I actually find even educators talking about that to the students. But I really like the fact that you're guiding them that right from the first year of your medical school, you should be a very good MBBS student. So that's a very pertinent take home message.
I think you should strive for that, but it's okay if you fall short a little bit. I'm not saying don't have fun, but definitely try your best to be a good student and like learn as much as you can, because after all, we are there to learn. And I think that should be the primary focus of every student, I would say. That's pretty much it, I would say. And whatever source you choose, I would say to like follow that source religiously. Anything you choose is completely fine. A lot of people initially told me about like reading the real textbooks, like all the big textbooks. I personally, I think they're very important. They have their place, but I also think conceptual learning should always take a precedent over any textbook. That is my opinion on it. And I think my teachers in college really did their part, and all I am is thanks to them, and thanks to all of the teachers that have been there for me and guided me, and all my seniors as well. I have had the fortune of having excellent seniors, excellent seniors. Especially my internship year, they have been quite the blessing for me, because all the clinical experience, all everything I have learned, I think I've pretty much learned in my internship year. That really has been a game changer for me.
Doc, how did you handle medicine and surgery? I mean, they are always something which is going to take up a lot of time. So, I mean, how was your approach to it?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, especially in the last year of your preparation, like when the year you're going to appear for the examination. I think medicine surgery is extremely important. So for medicine, I'm completely indebted to you. That was always my weakest subject, and not it was always I wouldn't use the word fear, but I definitely, it wasn't my strong suit. And you helped me a lot with that, sir, and for that I'm forever indebted to you. Your videos were extremely useful for me, and I did all the videos, and I made notes from them and revised them multiple times, and that was basically all I did for medicine. For surgery, sir, I I have a really knack. I have a knack for surgery, and that's what I want to pursue, either surgery or orthopedics. I want to go into a surgical allied line. So for that, sir, I did read the standard textbooks of surgery in my final year, and I think I had a pretty good base. And sir, for that, I followed notes, and I did good thorough revisions, and that was all I did.
Doc, the exam was delayed, and at the same time, I mean, there was a lot of pressure towards the last 1 month. So I just want to get into your mind and would like to know what were you doing 1 month before the exam? How were you coping up with everything?
Uh, Sir, here I would like to mention that after my first reading, I finished my first revision more or less around 20 days before the exam. And by that time, I was nowhere near confident as I thought I would. I was practically a mess, I would say. And I had 20 days I thought I would keep aside 20 days for all the cramming stuff, like I talked about. I tried to segregate them, and in my first and my first revision, as well as my first reading, I tried not to memorize too many things and just keep them for later, because I thought I would forget them anyway. The charts and like all your summaries, sir, at the end of the chapters you make, I thought I would review them in the last 20 days, and that was my strategy. That was my initial strategy. And I tried my best to follow through with that. But here I think I would like to mention one more fact that, sir, in no way was I perfect in my execution. And I think it's very important to understand that I don't think anybody who appeared for this examination could have been perfect with their execution, because the syllabus is just too vast, and the content is just too vast to cover very thoroughly and remember every word of it. I think that is a very futile attempt, and some people should focus more on progress rather than perfection. I think being a perfectionist here in this race is a very bad thing, and you should try and curtail that as much as possible. Do your best, and I think that's the most important thing, as well as progress. I'm sorry, sir, I'm deviating from the question.
No, no,
For
Doc,
the
it's
last,
perfectly fine. You just speak whatever your heart is. I mean, this is your day today, so we want you to speak. And I would definitely like your thought process to be, told to the students so that they can actually replicate some of the positive things that you were saying, and then they can achieve their final goal also.
yes, sir, that is my intention as well. I'm trying to give the people what I faced throughout my journey. And
True.
the main pointer I would say is that for me, I'm a perfectionist, I would say. In whatever I try to do, I'm very obsessive about anything I try to do. So for me, I think that was a negative point for me, because I kept revising the same topic again and again, and I thought that is important to some extent, but at the same time, you should understand that there comes a point where after which there is no takeaway from that. So you should try and move on and make progress every day. I think that's the most important point, and
Okay.
not to be too hard on yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Doc, doc,
Yes, sir,
Dr.
please.
Arita, you have focused on conceptual approach as well as
Yes, sir.
multiple revisions.
Yes, sir.
So you are a perfectionist. I really applaud that. I just wanted to clear a query which has been raised by so many students to our team. As a student, should I study everything or should I limit my approach to an extent?
Sir, here I
There is
would
so
like
much
to
of
point.
data available.
Yes, sir. Especially nowadays, sir, the amount of data and the amount of content you can have right at your fingertips is amazing. With the internet now, everything is at our fingertips, and really the amount of content is mind-boggling. Sometimes you could study one subject or one chapter even, or any topic even for hours and hours and days and days. So the most important point I would like to make here, sir, is that, like you always say, to keep the content very short and revisable. It has to be revisable. If it is not revisable, don't read it. That is my advice, I guess.
Doc, lots of times the targets may not be achieved also. Now, like for example, you have decided that you will study a particular XYZ topic on a particular day, and you might
Yes,
be
sir.
actually maybe writing down those name of those topics also because you are made a revision schedule. Now there's a distinct
Yes,
possibility that you are not able to complete that, so that adds up to the pressure. So I mean,
yes,
how
sir.
did you actually achieve, or how did you go about making achievable targets?
Sir, this is another of my weak points. I would say I always follow this principle in my life. It's something called Parkinson's rule. So I'm a perfectionist as well as I really like to procrastinate. So I don't know, sir. That's just something how I am like.
Okay.
So I always try to follow Parkinson's rules, and I set really unrealistic targets for myself. And
Okay.
that way I know even if I achieve maybe 60-70% of the targets, I'm still on track. So
Okay.
in my mind, I know I have done something, but at the same time, I know that I can never achieve those targets. But I still set them for myself. Otherwise, I'm just going to slack off.
Okay.
So that was my
Great.
approach to that. That
Great.
was my approach to that. I don't know if it will work for everybody, but if for people like me, I think that's a good way to go about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's almost like deliberately setting up a higher goal and then, perhaps missing it by a few notches rather than setting a lower goal and then, patting your back.
Absolutely,
Yes,
sir.
yes, I
Absolutely.
achieved
Okay,
it.
practical.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. I think having fear and apprehension is a lot better than having pseudo confidence, I would say here.
Absolutely. That's a very important message because a lot of students, when they message us, they are like breaking down under stress. They say that I am totally under fear. I could not achieve my target of yesterday and the day before yesterday and the day before yesterday. So I can't study
Yes,
today.
sir.
But then it's a natural thing, obviously. I mean, it's not possible to achieve the target on a particular date. So we need to be a little less harsh on ourselves and continue to keep on studying and continue the focus on. No doubt.
Absolutely, sir. I completely agree with that.
Absolutely. That's a very
And
positive.
I think every day should be. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, yeah, please go
I
on.
think
Please
every.
go on. It's your day.
Thank you, sir. I think every day should be taken as a fresh start, and you should start every day afresh. Whatever happened yesterday is yesterday's news. You could write it down on a piece of paper or maintain a log to see your backlogs. But rest assured, the backlogs are going to add up, and many a times I think it's impossible to cover them up. To be very honest, I could never cover up all of my backlogs, and some of that may or may not have affected my exam, but it works out in the end. Hard work really pays off.
Wow,
So, Doc,
Dr.
is there going to
Arita.
be a particular study schedule that you would like to guide the people with, as in maybe a certain set of combination of the subjects, or maybe a particular kind of a fixed time frame for the people who are going to be watching this video across the nation? That in such and such months, this much course should be covered with a preference given to these subjects, something
Sir,
of
I
that
think,
sort.
sir, I think now with the next coming in and all the patterns of all the examinations changing rapidly, I think everything is subject to change right now. And I am not the best planner myself as well. I know I'm pointing out all of my flaws here, but my girlfriend did that job for me. I am really indebted to her as well. So
Okay.
she planned everything out for both of us, and I could execute. And it was really amazing. She helped me out a lot during this phase of preparation, and
So that's
I
true. Behind
really
every successful man, behind every successful
definitely, sir.
man,
So in my
right?
case, for sure, sir, for sure.
Mhm.
And I think the most important point to be made here is that you should give weightage to the subjects according to the exam you're appearing for. If the exam is going to ask more questions for medicine and surgery, I would say give more stress to that. But as also we should always be aware of your weaknesses and your strengths. And in that thing, sir, I would like to point out. I think the best tool for preparation, competitive exam, especially an MCQ exam, would be GTs. No doubt about it, sir. I gave a lot of GTs, and every GT I used to analyze. and see what my weaknesses and what my strengths were, and I used to put more time on my weaknesses, especially weaknesses where I understood I have a lack in concept more than a lack in data. If it was a very factual question that I forgot, maybe I would study it 2 or 3 times or write it up on my wall. So you can see my wall right behind me. I
Oh,
have all
wow.
the
Wow.
so
Good,
my
good,
room
good.
is really dirty. I will show you around.
No,
Yes, sir.
it's good. It's good. The wall technique is working. Absolutely, absolutely. Doctors
Sir,
have.
I would like to point out here as well that not that I revise it every day, but even just seeing it up there on your wall has an effect on your subconscious sometimes. I think
Absolutely.
it works. For like, it's not a theory exam, so you don't need to remember every point out of everything. You just have to mark out of the 4 options. So I think that makes it a lot easier.
Great, great, great. Wow, Doc. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and
It's
many,
been
many
an absolute.
congrats. Many,
Thank
many
you so much, sir.
congratulations to you and to your
It's
girlfriend and to
been
your
surreal, sir.
family.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely a surreal experience, sir, talking to all of you. And I never thought I would be here talking to anybody of this sort or giving an interview or whatever. This is really a surreal experience for me. So thank
Wow.
you very much.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you
Dr.
for your
Ritra,
time.
The very best wishes, Dr. Chattopadhyay.
best wishes, Dr. Ritra.
Thank you
Don't
so much,
change
sir.
your hairstyle. Don't change your hairstyle. Don't
Oh,
change your healthy temperament.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, right.
You
Trying
have
to
a
keep
healthy
this up.
temperament. Keep it up.
One
Thank
of the
you so
best
much,
things
sir.
I must add, maybe in the last, would be that I simply like the fact that you have a very humane way of approaching the exams. I mean, most of the people, in my case, if I would have topped an exam, people start guiding, read Harrison cover to cover, Robbins cover to cover, Park cover to cover, something of that sort, which is very, I would say, insane, not even inhumane,
Definitely,
insane.
sir. I would say that I was, I think in the initial phase of my preparation, I was very misguided by all of that. And I thought that you have to do a lot of stuff and prepare a lot of stuff to get a good rank or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever it is.
No, no,
And
true,
I
Doc.
don't think that's the case at all.
That too much thing might actually results in too
And
much of
backfire,
pressure. It has to be very precise. I mean,
I
we
will say.
doctors have to be very
Yes, sir.
precise and to the point and very crisp. We cannot be having just
Yes,
voluminous data, and there is no point of just feeding voluminous data which will not result in any kind of outputs. It's been great talking to
absolutely.
you, Doc. It's been great.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Best
Bye
wishes.
bye.
All the best. All the
Have a good
best.
night, sir.
Bye bye. Take care.
You too.
Bye bye. Take care.